Mensdevoran, also known as the Forsaken Giant, is one of the formidable bosses in Once Human. This level 60 Pro Mode quest boss is found in the Forsaken Monolith and presents a significant challenge to players due to its powerful attacks and complex mechanics. Successfully defeating Mensdevoran requires understanding of its attack patterns, phases, and the best strategies to employ during combat. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting video where I guide you on how to defeat Mensdevoran, aka the Forsaken Giant, solo. We are going to be discussing a lot of various aspects of the foe, including attack patterns, phases, and counters to each attack, and much more. Don't forget to watch the video up till the end, as it will contain tons of tips and tricks littered throughout the video, which will help you seal a decisive victory against this formidable foe. So, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. Mensdevoran employs a variety of powerful attacks and phases that requires players to adapt and strategize. Mensdevoran has one weak spot throughout its whole encounter, and that is the pink glowing spot that will travel throughout its body, providing it energy to attack the players. A very important point is try keeping an eye on the pink glowing spot at all times, as knowing the position might help you save your life in this intense battle. Now let's dive into the breakdown of its attack patterns, phases, and their counters. We start off with initial phase that has 3 attacks: a basic attack, a hand sweep, and what I like to call a weeping giant. Let's start off with the basic attacks. At the start of the battle, Mensdevoran does not have a visible weak spot. The boss uses its massive arms to perform slam attacks, releasing shockwaves that players must jump over to avoid. This attack does impact damage followed by shockwave damage, so you have to dodge 2 things at the same time. Otherwise, you will get hit by either of them or both. To avoid this, you can use the consumable called the spring legs, which will allow you to jump higher, then use V to stay airborne for a while longer. Or you can use my personal favorite consumable called the Stardust Energy Drink, which will give you double jump ability at no extra cost. Next comes the hand sweep, where Mensdevoran will sweep its hand across the platform, targeting the area where the player is located. This attack can be dodged by running to the extreme opposite side of the platform and rolling over at the end, or using a deviant to jump out of the way. You get a head start in this one when you notice the pink glow moving from the center to one of the arms of the Great One. Run the opposite direction of the glowing arm, as that's the arm he will be using to sweep the platform. Next attack is what I like to call a weeping giant. During this attack, the boss will cover its face and weep, releasing black blobs that can damage players. During this time, just run around and try to dodge as many blobs as possible. Additionally, it will summon mobs to attack the players, which must be dealt with promptly. Now we move to the next phase, which is the platform destruction phase. In this phase, he uses smash attacks and teleportation. After losing 1 health bar, Mensdevoran will begin to target specific platforms with his smash attacks. It smashes its fists onto the platforms 3 times before it breaks, requiring players to move strategically to avoid falling. For teleportation, the boss will disappear and reappear in different locations, each time smashing its fist down. Players need to guide the boss's attacks to ensure they only hit each platform once to avoid complete destruction. The next phase is the mixed attack phase, which includes charged attack and summoning elites. For charge attacks, Mensdevoran will charge up an attack while sending out homing projectiles. Players should aim for the weak spots of its torso during this attack, but must be prepared to dodge the homing projectiles. Summoning Elite. Throughout this phase, the boss will summon elite mobs that will pose additional threats if not dealt with quickly. The final phase will have Pillars of Light and Grab and Throw as attacks. As Mensdevoran's health drops to around 2 bars, it will summon Pillars of Light that cause area damage. These can be avoided or tanked if the players have sufficient health and healing items. Grabbing and throwing. In a last-ditch effort, Mensdevoran will grab the player and throw them to the ground. This attack can be dodged by moving to the sides, though it only happens once when the boss is near death. Now that we have gone through all the Great One's attacks, let's talk about the various strategies that I took to succeed in this fight. First, equipped appropriate gear. High-tier gear, particularly with good mobility and damage stats, is essential. Calibrate your tier 5 weapons and armors to maximize damage output and survivability. I will not give any advice on which guns and gears to use, as each person has their own preference and ways to play the game, but I will be showcasing my loadout just as an example. To fight this great one, I used almost fully calibrated Hammer Brahmini with the Vulnerability Amplifier Precision mod, as it has weak spot damage, as we are going to be focusing on the weak spots of the Great One. Plus, it has additional damage against the Great One and additional mag capacity, which are all very helpful when fighting this boss. Moving on to our second weapon, which is the MG4 MR Squid BP LMG with targeted bounce mod, which gives me bounce weak spot priority, additional bounce damage, and bounce crit damage, which is good for clearing mobs faster. The mod could have been enhanced a bit further, but it still got the job done. I will quickly go through the armor set, and you can pause the video to check specific parts and mods attached to them. My next point is to maintain distance. Use long-range weapons to keep a safe distance from Mensdevoran, allowing you to dodge its melee attacks more effectively. Manage mob and be mobile. This boss constantly keeps on throwing massive AoE attacks at you, and with the mobs introduced into the fight, it might become overwhelming at times. So make sure to carry grenades and molotovs, and also don't forget to use your deviants when the boss spawns elites. Like me, you can also use consumables like the Weaver, which will help you lock the enemies in place so you can kill them faster or just run away. My last advice would be to prepare ample supplies. People often would not bring enough to fight and end up losing the fight because of not having enough supplies and ammunitions. Stock up on healing items, including adrenaline shots, quick short activators and quick long activators. Switch between those two heals to increase survivability. Make sure to repair armor and guns before you enter a boss fight. Get molotovs and grenades if you love some sweet destruction. Make sure to use consumables like the Weaver to control mobs, living armor to recover from those one-shot knockouts from the bosses, and use Stardust Energy Drink to jump over those pesky AoE punches. Defeating Mensdevoran in once human is a challenging but rewarding task. By understanding his attack patterns, preparing adequately, and employing strategic movements and positioning, players can overcome this formidable foe. Remember to stay vigilant, keep your distance, and manage your resources effectively to claim victory over the Forsaken Giant. This is all that I had for you guys in this video. If you guys enjoyed the content, don't forget to drop a like on the video, and if you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. And I will catch you guys in the next one.